Today I'm going to tell you why the Lakers will win the championship for 2020. Now this is the third video in my 6-part series as I reveal my top 5 title contenders before revealing my personal pick at the end of the series on who I think is going to win the 2020 NBA Finals. Now, every video I'm going to give you the stats to support the good, some bad, but ultimately we're going to wrap up each video with a strong case for why each one of these contenders will win the championship this year. Let's get into it.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome back to Journey of a Ballaholic, the best talk show for basketball addicts. I'm your host, General Hannibal X. Now, if you're new on this channel, you're going to be getting my passionate and unfiltered opinion on the hottest NBA and college basketball topics. Listen, I'm a ballaholic. I'm absolutely addicted to basketball. Now, if you're a ballaholic like me, go ahead and hit that like button, but make sure you subscribe to the channel and also tap that notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I drop new videos, which is every Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, as always, before we get the video kicked off, let's go down to the comment section for the comment of the day. Let me know, do you think that the Lakers can win the championship this year? And if so, let me know why. Okay, so now that we're into the third video of this 6-part series, by now you've realized that what I like to do is go over looking at history to kind of determine what have past NBA champions had in common, and kind of forecasting that onto the current teams to see which teams have that ideal look of an NBA champion. Now, as we know, every team that's ever won an NBA championship has had at least one bona fide superstar or multiple bona fide all-stars. Well, the Lakers are no exception to that rule. LeBronjames and Anthony Davis give the Lakers not one, but 2 bona fide superstars. Listen, regardless of whether you like LeBron or not, whether you think he's the best player or not, I think it's kind of a consensus that LeBron is at least top 3 in the game. And with that, you also have to look at Anthony Davis, where most people would say he's either top 5, some would say he's top 7 in the game, but I think it's kind of hands down, written in stone almost, that Anthony Davis is a bona fide top 10 player in the game. So that gives the Lakers an advantage over most teams, because there's not many teams out there that can say they have a legitimate case to have 2 players in the top 10 of the NBA right now. Also, keep in mind, the Lakers were the only team in the NBA this season that had not 1, but 2 all-star starters. The only team. They're also likely going to be the only team that's going to have 2 first-team All-NBA players. Now, we understand that those 2 aren't enough. I mean, in order to win the game, it's a 5-man sport. But keep in mind that every team that's ever won a championship in the history of the game, they had a rotational player at the power forward or the center position that made an all-star or an all-NBA team before the year that that team won the title. Now, Anthony Davis, he fits that role for the Lakers, but so does Dwight Howard. Now, Dwight was a really underrated signing that the Lakers picked up after another former all-star big man of theirs went down with an injury in DeMarcus Cousins. Now, when you have a guy like LeBron James, who to me is the best passer in the NBA currently, as he leads the NBA in assists, it makes it a lot easier on him when he has elite size around the basket, guys like Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, and even JaVale McGee. Guys that can finish almost anything that you throw anywhere near the rim. So it shouldn't be a surprise that the Lakers are number 1 in the NBA in field goal percentage at 48.5%. Those are high percentage shots, and high percentage shots equals winning basketball. But that size and the length that the Lakers have, which is definitely a strength of theirs, is also showcased on the defensive end as well. The Lakers lead the NBA in blocks per game at 6.8. Now, one thing that's going to allow those big men to be able to swat as many shots as they do at the rim is the pressure that's being put on the ball from the perimeter defenders. The Lakers have defensive-minded guys all over the court. In the starting backcourt, they got Avery Bradley and even Danny Green. Now, these are 2 vets that have both made all defensive teams before in the past. Then you factor in guys like KCP, who brings a lot of energy, and even Rajon Rondo, who has that defensive mentality, and he's also made an all-defensive team in the years past. The Lakers actually have the most players on any team in NBA history with all defensive team awards on their resume with 6 different guys. That's LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo, Avery Bradley, and even Danny Green. Now, when you also throw in a guy like a versatile defender like Markieff Morris, who was a great mid-season addition, a guy who's a legit 6'8", 250, a tough guy, a guy that can guard either forward position, now the Lakers have one of the deepest and best defensive teams in the entire NBA. Listen, we all know that defense wins titles. We know that. And as we discussed in the last video, winning matters during the regular season. And winning consistently, that matters even more. Defense wins championships, man. There's no other way around it. That's what the Lakers have done all season. They've played consistent defense, and they've won consistently all season. Currently, they have the best record in the West and the second best record in the NBA. They also have some extremely long winning streaks as well. Now, keep in mind that every NBA title team over the last 20 years, they all had at least one 8-game winning streak, or they had 3 separate 7-game win streaks. Well, when you look at the Lakers, they've had one 10-game win streak, they had a 9-game win streak, and on top of that, they've also had 3 separate 7-game win streaks as well. Now, if that wasn't enough, remember, every NBA champion that's ever won a title, they ended the regular season as a top 8 team in overall net rating. Where do the Lakers currently rank? Well, currently they're number 2 in net rating, while also being number 3 in defensive rating and number 4 in offensive rating. Listen, they're the only team that currently sits in the top 4 in each one of those categories. The Lakers are literally dominant on both ends of the court. And like all champions from the years past, you want to be a balanced team, a team that can score efficiently and be able to get stops consistently. Now, that's the good, but let's take a look at the bad. I mean, if you're being honest, it's really not a lot of bad with this Lakers team. LeBron and the Lakers, they're chasing history. Laker history, really. LeBron currently leads the NBA in assists, averaging 10.6 assists a game. The only player in NBA history that has ever led the NBA in assists while averaging double-digit assists during the regular season and then went on to win the title that same year, that was Laker legend Magic Johnson in 1987, which many believe that was the best season of his entire career. So, can LeBron become the second player in NBA history to do that? Well, time's gonna tell. LeBron is also looking to become just the first player in NBA history to lead 3 different teams to the title. Can he do that? Well, as we said, only time will tell. Honestly, there's not much evidence that you're gonna find to go against the Lakers winning at all. What is their weakness? A consistent third scorer, maybe? I don't necessarily think that is a weakness though. NBA title teams are largely won on the scoring production from your top 2 players. Third options tend to get diminished during those finals runs anyway. Think about it like this. Look at the Lakers' last 5 NBA championships. Over the last 2 decades, not one third scoring option on any of those title teams averaged over 16 points a game. In 2000, you had Glenn Rice, he averaged 15.9. 2001 was Fisher with 11.5. 2002 was Fisher with 11.2. Then you had 2009 where Bynum averaged 14.3, and in 2010, Bynum also averaged 15 points a game. Now, currently, Kyle Kuzma is the Lakers' 3rd leading scorer, averaging 12.5 points per game. Now, these are just regular season numbers, so I get that. The playoffs are definitely a different monster. So this is what I did. I went back and I looked at the 3rd leading scorer in the NBA Finals for each title team over the last 30 years. And what I found was really interesting. 22 of those 30 guys, they averaged less than 16 points. 29 of those 30 guys averaged less than 18 points. The only person to average more than 18 points as the 3rd leading scorer in the NBA Finals on a championship team, that was Ray Allen from the Big 3 in 2008. So the bottom line is that if you have 2 dynamic scorers like LeBron and Anthony Davis, you really don't need an elite 3rd option. That 3rd option can alternate between players. It could be Kuzma one game, Bradley another game, Danny Green could go off one game. You could have a KCP game, a Marcus Morris game. And let's not forget the Lakers did just pick up Dion Waiters, a guy who can score as well as almost anybody off the bench. He's almost like a microwave coming off the bench. So I really don't think that 3rd option is truly that important. I think what's more important is having a team full of experienced players. Listen, experience matters in the NBA. That's why a lot of teams like the Pelicans and the Grizzlies and the Atlanta Hawks, these young teams, they're just not legitimate title contenders. They don't have the experience or the star power to truly get it done. As I discussed in previous videos, one reason against the Clippers winning the title this season was their team's average age and overall experience. And they're one of the best teams in the league. But the Lakers, however, they don't have that problem. Keep in mind that 9 out of the last 10 teams to win the title, they had an average team age of 28 or older, or that team was ranked in the top 5 as far as team average age. Well, when you look at the Lakers, they check both of those boxes. They're currently ranked number 1 with an average team age of 29.6. Now, the Lakers also have a lot of experience, not just in age, but also success, playoff success. They have 6 guys that have played in an NBA Finals, and 5 of those guys have actually won an NBA title. There's only one team that's got more than that. That's the defending NBA champion Toronto Raptors that basically brought a lot of that same team back from last year together. That's the only team that has more players on their roster with title and finals experience. Listen, man, there's no team that's perfect. We saw that last year with Golden State. One injury, just one injury, could blow up everything for you. But as long as the Lakers stay healthy, with this roster they have right now, whether you got guys like Frank Vogel, who's a defensive-minded coach, you got Jason Kidd on the sideline, Lionel Hollins. Listen, being in this bubble, it does take a little bit of the advantage away from the Lakers, specifically in matchups in the Western Conference because they would have had home court advantage. But I think it actually kind of helps them when they get to the finals, if they're able to get to the finals, because if they're going up against the Bucks, they wouldn't have to worry about being at a disadvantage from a home court advantage standpoint. So at the end of the day, I think the Lakers could be a team that could win the championship this year. But what do you think? Do you think the Lakers can win it? If you do, go down to the comment section below and let me know why you think the Lakers can win it. Listen, I appreciate you taking a look at this video. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you click the logo right here. If you haven't taken a look at my top 25 players of all time, please go ahead and click the box right here. Listen, until we meet up again next time, make sure that you stay safe in the streets, and remember, no justice, no peace.